Hi, this is Mia. This is part 2. I wish I had slept. And I'm really uncomfortable sitting in this spot. And I'm really hungry, and I pretty much ate all my food. Everything else made me sick. I re-ate the broccoli from Trader Joe's. I opened it it was more than a day after it said sell by or used by. It was already cut. Some of it was cut, like, not just the florets, or whatever, it was like cut in half, and it was like a lot of mold, and it's like a bag that you kind of could use for microwaving or something. It was moldy and black, and I got sick. I thought it was the cashews. I'm not sure if it was the cashews. I did put on something on Amazon about getting sick from the cashews because I had got sick and it was weight, and so now I feel concerned that I might have. I don't know what to do, if I should throw those away. They did taste kind of funky, so I should probably throw everything away except for the cranberries. But that sucks because I haven't slept. I feel like this virus is spreading through like a rapid fire, and there's a lot of complications with things, posts, and the regular government health institutions haven't publicized it any earlier than the naturopaths in my community that we all keep in touch. There's just been a lot of long haulers and a lot of clotting and a lot of breathing, all these issues. So, um, I want to know. Okay, change it from that. I'm feeling really weird. I'm feeling really weird. I don't have a test. People are spending forever trying to get in to get tested all over town. Maybe it was more around New Year's or Christmas, or actually it was after New Year's. I think people were waiting in line. So I got to pay bills. I got to rest somehow. I got to get my stomach back. I've been doing activated charcoal, vinegar. Oh, I didn't drink. So I have some. I was too sick to try to. I was too sick or lazy to try to put the regular vinegar I showed you guys yesterday. The type of honey that I use. It's like a solid. So I did use this one. I get mad at myself for using this because I tell myself that's for a trip. That's for emergency. Or for keeping in your lunchbox. I had some olive oil like this too. It went bad. It went rancid because I didn't use it. So, still has honey in it. There's a lot of honeys give me stomach aches. And for some reason, this one is alright. It tastes sweeter than that other one, that white one that I have. I'm gonna stand up and show you guys some craft stuff. Oh gosh, it feels good to stand up. So I've not noticed in my cute clothes. I've not noticed when I'm needing more attention. When I had my period, and when I feel okay and I'm doing work and I'm got a deadline, then I get attention from my family. And the phone's ringing and I on call or sick or have to sleep, texts are going off. But when I'm like sitting here like now, I'm just like feel neglected. Alright, so this has been sitting on this. I don't know where the top went. I want to clean my house and play music before the business opens, and then maybe take like a power nap. I stink. I must have forgot to put deodorant on, or I probably did. When I get in heated discussions, my sweat stinks. What was that noise? It's like I hear somebody's phone beeping. So I have these lava rocks, and I hope they're not from Hawaii. I hope there's some, and I think these are the kind, I'm not positive, I think there's some kind that you can, they feel cold, that you can put essential oils on. They don't tell you what they are. Oh, it does say natural lava stone. I think I have one strand of this. I have more than one. of these. There is that bottle in the window of the tiger's eye. They just call it natural tiger eye stone. I have a onyx and tiger eye bracelet with silver or silver coat. It's hard to find sterling silver. I have these seed beads. These look expensive, this brand. I don't know why. To check seed beads. I don't know why I got these. Because I have some iridescent ones. I like iridescent stuff. And then I have the Nag Champa. I like sandalwood. But the sandalwood I got, there's not much left. I just realized. The sandalwood I have, I don't like. The kind that they sell in Fred Meyer, the one with the goldish, dark goldish package. I don't know. It's. I think of the name in that language. It's like elephant. I'm thinking something with an elephant. But they sell those kind of. The Gonishi? Something like that. I like that. My friend said that's the best scent, that sandalwood. Sandalwood, you can look up the energy behind that. I have no energy. I want to just sit and cry. I told myself I was going to take a shower and wash my hair and clean up. And just, I don't have my food. I'll stay here till 11. If the packages don't come, I just have to leave, go to work. I work tonight, come back, do my Al-Anon, and then get to bed early so that I can go to my, get called into a birth. And, I got my guitar that I thought I tuned. I'm gonna go get it and show it to you guys, because that's all I can think about right now. I used to do so much, guys. I used to do so much. I have my EpiPen here. It's probably expired. I used to do so much. I used to play music, play the piano, participate in sports, actively participate as a volunteer. This volunteer organization I signed up for, they don't call me in. Then they had some paid jobs that they sent us information. I applied for those. They didn't call me in. They said that our people were working in volunteering in hospitals or something. Although I never got a call. I never got an email. Maybe my thing is inactive. I was actually scared to get called in last year. But I look at myself. I feel like the world is disgusting. I look at myself in the camera view. It's like there's a cancer inside of hatred, especially put on by my family, my relatives, and it's like I gotta. You know how you see the people in developing countries with the dirty water and they got all these worms coming out their skin? It's almost like I gotta like reach in or stick a hook, like a fish hook, on a string somewhere and try to, take the string without it breaking and just pull out that freaking worm, man. That's how I feel. I feel like I got something that's growing and feeding off me. I don't even know how to describe it. It's sickening. I feel like it's. There's a mouse and a cat I don't know if it's a bacteria. You can look this. I'm so sorry that I don't remember. I don't know if it's a bacteria, some kind of microorganism, where there's a mouse and there's a cat, and the cat, I think, is a carrier of this bacteria, and somehow the mouse gets it, or the microorganism, and instead of the mouse's instincts, say there's a cat in your garage and there's mice in your garage, and the mice, the cats are coming, like, go hide, go in the hole where the cat can't get you. It does the opposite effect. It causes you, as a mouse, to go to the cat, and then the cat eats the mouse, and that bacteria gets in the cat, and then whatever, somehow it gets spread through the mouse community. So instead of them running and hiding, so I feel like I'm that mouse. I've got something in me that I keep going towards toxicity. I keep letting myself be around things I don't like. I didn't like those people at that clinic space I was trying to have. So I'm scared to talk to anyone else. I've tried to talk to anyone else, but the price of renting a space is outrageous. So you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I have some kind of thing that needs to get out of my body immediately. That was just, so I'm saying that my package is out for delivery. It's been saying that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is a very uncomfortable feeling. I have begged professional counselors who are getting paid good money to remove that. Not remove it. It's not up to them to remove it, but to let me talk about it like I'm talking to you. And to have an assignment and accountability. They don't have to solve my problem. They don't have to give me advice or suggestions. In fact, that might be harmful. But if I could find a trustworthy person, knowing they're getting paid, they could be totally thinking about sailing and fishing. But if I could say, okay, next week I'm going to talk about this, and next week I'm going to talk about this, and it's like in my programs that I attend, you got there 4 or 5 minutes to talk, and you get a solution. You talk yourself into a solution. You got a problem, what's the solution? Let me go get that guitar. I'm going to tell you, it doesn't, I think some of the strings aren't staying tuned. Hold on. So what is it when you try to talk to somebody and you feel enlightened and the people think that you're very unenlightened and very close-minded? What if their actions and the actions of people that have done the same things, or their thoughts or their ideas, are harmful, such as racism? You could be racist and say, I'm not harming anyone. Oh, I got a black guy that works for me. You know, I'm giving him the same opportunity. But are you microaggressive? That attitude and the words that come out of your mouth, that's two different things. And if you're a certain way, even if you don't admit to being racist or stereotyping people, you potentially, like at my job, you're going to believe the non-white person or the non-black person over the black person when there's a story. And the people that aren't black know that they can get away with stuff and know that they can scapegoat the black person because they are in the same world I am. What's oppressing me is giving you privilege. And to give me some sort of equity does not mean that you're going to be oppressed. That's the thing. If you're in a big, let's say the church that Joel Osteen wouldn't let people in his church during that flood. You're in a big church that holds 10,000 people or whatever, and you got 2,000 people outside. You let in 10 members of your church or your family into your church to hide out from the storm, and you got 2,000 people outside. there's plenty of room to bring every one of those people in. If you don't want them mudding up your place, then tell them to take their shoes off. Give them a plastic bag so they can carry it around if someone's scared to get their stuff stolen or lost. Have them use the bathroom, wash their hands, fire up the stoves in the kitchen, make some food. Like, do what Jesus would do if you're teaching that, if you're going to teach that. But it's not like, and they don't have to, it's a private church, but I'm saying there's room for everyone. But to just say, we're going to take this building and say, here, when the 2,000 people spread out in an arena like that, it's not going to be that many people. You know what I'm saying? Have them help keep the bathrooms clean. Have them help, um, keep their stuff, trash put in trash, dishes washed. You know what I'm saying? And then becomes kind of a ruler over the world, but get them up out of the storm. Like I said, they don't have to. It's like you're not saying that if we let 2,000 people in, that we're going to be out in the storm now and they're going to take over. It's just like you need to develop a new conceived population, literal conceived egg population, or zygote. Bring up people that can tolerate each other and tolerate themselves. They don't have to. You can love your neighbor, but you don't have to like him. That's one thing that the old pastor said that I hate quoting her. She goes, I can love you, but I don't have to like you, which is kind of rude, but you don't have to be bitter and angry if your neighbors got annoying barking dogs, that's kind of illegal, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go egg their car, and you don't have to make up lies to the police or poison their dog, but you can say, I love them, they're human, period. Maybe I could write them a letter and tell them how it's disrupting my sleep and my baby's getting woke up, and, after you go get sound machines and putting foam in all your windows at night, all these different things you could do. But someone's telling me, like, it's going to be a risen up population of folks that can. So, like, the thing is that people aren't taking other people's not opinion. Let's say that in your culture, women don't wear shirts. And when I, as a birth worker and as a doctor, seeing someone topless or bottomless or delivering a baby or having to check for tears or having to do gyne checks, that's not sexual. Having to do proctology, having to check male health, like, you know what I'm talking about for physicals. That is not sexual, that is health. Having myself being that person that used to go skinny dipping all the time, skinny dipping, being nude, having your shirt off, nursing a baby, I feel like that's just nature. But it's when we do the really seductive thing, and we have that motive. You could be wearing, like, I could be wearing a skimpy bikini now. I could be nursing a child and just be like, oh, my sweet baby. That I could be like, oh, I'm going to go out and do this out in the street and put up a sign that says I'm homeless, and I'm going to wear like a lacy, sexy, stimulating thing with a hat there so people can throw money in. So I'm going to use and exploit my body. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you're in a family and your kids are being affected by this, or they're doing something that could injure someone, or you're in a partnership or a marriage where something is, or even your friends, they don't realize that there's a gray area of overlap, maybe. It's more where it's no longer consensual people of similar age, legal age, doing things that they agree to do, whether it benefits one or the other, or neither, or both. You know what I'm saying? Versus it becomes a crime. It becomes a if people said they blew up a school because God told them to annihilate these people, you harmed a lot of people and their loved ones. And you're trying to justify that because you felt something in your brain, or somebody, some cult leader. They tried to do a Christmas thing with a Muslim was assaulted by the police to try to see if he could blow up the Christmas tree lighting. And they convinced him not to talk to family. That the cops set him up, this poor guy, and he was a young college student, and he could have gone and just been a college student and been a successful person, but they tried to convince him that they were this religious cult, that their God chose him to hurt a bunch of people, kill a bunch of people, maim a bunch of people. So you're going to be told by some leader or some fake leader, and they're going to be like, we're going to get him to do something, or we're going to get him to, we're going to benefit from whatever it is. We're going to benefit from it. Even if it's like you get off on it. Power and control. The devil brainwashed somebody to do something. And you're getting financial, you're getting rewarded because the police, it's a sting operation. We caught him. Caught him. He wouldn't have done that by himself. He needs to study so he can take calculus next term. And it wasn't a sting operation where you're spying on someone and someone said, this person's up to no good. You targeted this person, started emailing them and asking them how they felt about this type of thing, and convinced them that these Christians were wrong for lighting a Christmas tree. So it's like you have these people that are financially benefiting off it, controlling you, seducing you, creating an industry that's not, there's, say there's sex shops where people can go buy party favors for parties, for bachelorette parties and bachelor's parties, or novelty gifts for their friend's birthday party, and toys that their friends buy. They have safe sex stuff, condoms, and dress up stuff, and stuff that couples can go and get things to jazz up the bedroom. And then it turns from, this is a private adult situation that's all fun, all consensual, to we're going to be dirty and we're going to harm someone who has less power. And you're thinking that what you're doing with your thoughts isn't leading to action, and it's also leading to energy in the universe, and it's also leading to a societal, some men I knew that were from, some young men I knew from Muslim countries were purposely trying to do everything they could to see nudity, because they weren't allowed to see nudity in their old country, or with their religion, or with their parents, even if they were born in the U.S. So they did everything, and they said, before my parent visits, I gotta hide these things. And it was artistic. It was not necessarily pornography. It was like art class where you're having new drawings and new paintings and this and that. And who created that type of art style? Who created us being dressed? Like I said, I used to be a compulsive, skinny dipper. I never wore a bikini, to tell you the truth. I never had my cleavage showing. If I did, it would have been on accident recently when I don't have a mirror. I never walked out and had a dress or a dress or a shirt or a top that had cleavage shown. I never had those clear see-through leggings. And I'm not judging people that do it, because I go from being modestly dressed to having a history of skinny dipping and having a history of wanting to look cute for myself and my partner, and that just for the partner has turned into a disaster, or it turns into something where you feel like you don't want to be manipulative. So I attempted to tune this. That one won't tune. I don't even know if this knob is turning. I don't see any of the knobs turning. I think that the knob here is broken. It's not tuning. It could be why this only costs $3. I don't want to break the knob or break the string. I just cut my nails. They're not short enough. I haven't touched a guitar in years. I used to play daily. Someone at the old church named Wendy, who was in the ministry of music, pretty much in different words told me I sucked. I was the only one in the group that practiced every Saturday for like a year that never made it on stage with my classical guitar. And when I left the group, or the group dissolved to try to prep us to be guests in the band, I never picked up my guitar after that. And I used to play, and I used to take it in and play for children. I used to take it in my son's preschool and play. I went to the park and would jam, and I remember this guy said, now that's some music there. And I made up some songs, and I had been making up songs since I was a kid. And because of that lady's statement, I turned it down. I turned it away. Turned away. I have 3 or 4 guitars. I had a bunch of warm-up songs. My hand feels funky. I'm gonna play While My Boyfriend's Gone. I'm gonna get in the shower and wash my hair and get these cute clothes off and just get some. I'm gonna pull my juicer out. I'm gonna grab a trash bag and just throw away these plastic containers. The ones that are already clean, I'll put them in a paper bag, and then I'll pull these bottles out of here. I'm just gonna wear myself out. I am menopausal. I am neglected by the world. I want to be the bouncy young lady whose friends and family throw together a bachelorette party and a baby shower and a housewarming party and put her up on a pedestal sometimes, and she's a suburban, going to the gym, got a minivan, gotta take the kids somewhere, well, like an SUV. But this is really embarrassing. This guitar is also broken in the back. You can see that split there. So I take pearls. Most of the clams or whatever, oysters, are empty, but there's some pearls I get from my counseling, and one is to try to work on communication with my partner. One is to get back into music. I opened up my iPad and did GarageBand a little bit with the piano, trying to play some songs. On an iPad mini, there's not many songs you can play with that little keyboard, but I wanted to get a Radio Shack keyboard off of eBay for $45. I literally don't have the money. I'm wasting money left and right with my business. I've been doing the crocheting and the sewing, but not that much. I'm still trying to do the head thing, the pillowcase to protect my hair. I need to do another pillowcase out of cloth because this one's going to need to be washed. I don't have an inner case, so I have this. I'm going to show you that, and then I'll get off here. So I just feel more and more distant from my partner, and like I said I'm not trying to be selfish because this person is working too many hours doing package stuff. There's too many packages around Christmas. It's COVID. I really want to eat something. I'm just gonna eat the salted nuts. Alright, so this pillowcase I made. It's a remnant at Walmart. Anyone ever figure out how to get someone actual cut fabric at Walmart? I'm about to go in there and do it. So what I want to do is I want to sell everything extra. I want to use all the fabric and fabric to make clothing, and an apron I'm working on with the same fabric. This was a leftover from the apron. Keep making blankets, and we got some old chairs out there, so make covers for the back, for the arms. I don't know how to make doilies. Stuff to cover up this wooden furniture that's antique or vintage. So this pillow, I won't take it out all the way, I made in the 90s. And I wish I had a washer and dryer because I have been diagnosed with an allergy to dust mites. So make another pillowcase like that. All this hand sewn is taking me forever. I found my apron over here that I need to work on. I need to hem up my pants for work, etc. And I'm trying to see if I could take out, like maybe cut my other pants to size 14s and put a triangle in there and see if I can actually get them to fit, because they're not really fitting. Excuse me, I showed you this stuff. So I'm left-handed, I try to use my right brain, but the world is not set up for that. And the more I try to use my right brain, I feel like I'm being more treated like I'm ignorant, because my language skills disappear. I have PTSD. I have other diagnoses that people don't want to diagnose me. I could diagnose myself, but I don't. So I made this scarf. It's very warm. It's very, very cold. Just like wear it, but it was really bad the first year. The fuzzes would get into my eye. Usually I wear these outdoor glasses, but now the fuzzes get in my mouth. I was sneezing the other day. So this one I made myself. Woolish. Probably got that from Joanne. I think they might have wool at Walmart. I'm trying not to buy anything right now. I'm trying to make a salve or a skin hair cream. I'm trying to find my beeswax. I was thinking just to mix the stuff that I have right now and just use it as is. I have a little plastic cup, actually. I could put it in there and stick it, plastic wrap, stick it in the bathroom until so I'm trying to knead it. I didn't make it yet. I'm trying to knead these oils in a plastic bag, and then when I get the beeswax, so technically you could get a canned food and make a double boiler, or empty the canned food, clean the can, make a double boiler, and then pour that into a container or mold and have some sort of a cream. I had this stuff to do lip chapstick or like lip balm containers. You're supposed to fill like you fill candle molds. I haven't gotten into that a lot. I haven't gotten into soap making, which I would love to do. Really need to just maintain and wash my clothes. I got to work in a couple hours, so I'm pretty upset about that because I'm starting to get stuff done. I'm going to get on here and see if I was even close with the guitar. My mind keeps thinking that the two strings are D when it's supposed to be E. Something's telling me that I'm not thinking right from exhaustion, being sick, from this societal thing to stay still in this apartment, in this relationship where my kids are dealing with Something's telling me that, and I don't want to hear that. I want to just flee. I want to just get in the car and go somewhere, and then go get a hotel and just no vermin and just lay down and sleep. And then put on a silly movie and order like I did in Las Vegas some raw food. I didn't have a refrigerator in the room, by the way. I found this out when I was studying for the first board exam in medical school. I had a microphone or a voice recorder, and they were doing construction, and every time the guys would be outside the side window talking and all this stuff, I would be like, these are the type of white blood cells, and this is this thing in the immune system, and the natural killer cells, and then this one looks like this. Like, you can even talk about spike proteins, and the reason that this is important because when you're dealing with children, such and such, when you're dealing with adults, like, I would be on a roll, and someone would walk by, I just hear them walk by, I open up the gate, and I'd be like, immune system, what cells? What? Like, and I would play these back while I clean the house and say, oh my gosh, my intelligence what left when there's people invading my space without my permission. And my memory leaves when there's people invading my space that have permission. Because most of the people have multiple times hurt my feelings. And hurt feelings as a child led to being beaten. Someone criticizes you with their words, and then they beat the heck out of you. So my body stutters when I make videos. When I tell you something from the heart, I'm embarrassed. It's as though you're here in the room. Tisk, 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 Mia, you suck. When you heard me this other video with the trucks going by, I started getting off topic. I had this issue in medical school where I had a hard time focusing on tests. I still knew the information, but it took me a lot longer. The teacher started taking my test. Your time is up. It's like, but it's supposed to be up at 15 after. It's only 5 after. Too bad. Everyone else is done. Taking my test. Of course I didn't do well. If you can't finish the questions. If they say you have 60 seconds. So I was told that I had to go to a different room to take the test and ask for more time. But I had to go pay a healthcare provider more stuff than this person wasn't even a healthcare provider. I'm going to tell you something real fast. I'm going to push stop and go live my life. There was a black woman who was in the military, and she was older and she smoked. She had a deeper voice than mine. And they told her that if she didn't go get voice lessons, that she was going to get kicked out of med school until she got those lessons. And she refused. She said that the residents that were her supervisors in clinic were intimidated by her voice. A strong, intelligent black woman voice. She had a muscle car. She was nice. She was helpful. I went into the medical school the first or second time to get information with student services or whoever does the tours and sells, the salespeople that said, this is a good program, you're going to make a ton of money, blah, blah, blah. Pay your loans back in 3 years. Forget the 10 years, 3 years, no interest, low interest. I was sitting in there, and she said, I can't remember her name. Hi, my name is such and such. She said, I can't walk by a black woman in medical school and not introduce myself. And I was like, dang, I like this place. And I started talking to this lady outside the school, looked at her car out in the parking lot, got to talking to her on the phone, and I told her that I went to student services. And I told her that I went to this lady and wanted to get the accommodations to take the test longer in a quiet room because the rustling of the papers, the people talking about their babies and their puppies outside or inside the classroom while I'm still taking a test, even with earplugs was too much for me. As you see in my videos, when I'm taking a work break and somebody's walking by the truck, looking at me. I start stuttering and like nervous, like picking and do stuff in my hair. I get so nervous. It distracts me all day and all night, every single day and night. And this lady says, don't be talking to those people. Those are the people that told her to get out of school. She said, don't be talking to those people. She said, listen, those people are going to use this against you. I'm warning you. She's like, no, that lady's not helping you with accommodations. They're going to try to pull something and say that you didn't pass. She goes, do not take the test like everybody else. They're going to try to pull something. But I couldn't. It's one thing to take a test in a room and the teacher tells you you have an hour and a half or an hour and 15 minutes and they take away your time. It's another thing to deal with the noise and try to use better earplugs and double, outer and inner earplugs and just like focus and try to take practice tests in a noisy environment. It's one thing which was end up happening later on. With some of my quizzes, I just stopped asking for. I think someone had pop quizzes, so I don't think I could run up to accommodations. Anyways, it's a different story. But it's one thing if you get through the test, but it's another if you're straight slow and the teacher's taking the test out of your hand. You're gonna fail. And because I'm visual, I would draw it out and then put the labels on it. If you're more of a word person, you're gonna think of the word. The test is not in pictures. The test is in words and multiple choice. And this teacher I'm thinking about, his crap was freaking backwards. So that's a different story. Some of his stuff did not make sense. So you don't study from a book, a peer-reviewed book. You study his notes, and then you disregard his notes because some of that crap was inside out. But I just wanted to say that because I feel like something's going to come back and remind me to be cautious of those who are trying to help you. Not trying to say be cautious, don't trust the man, don't trust the system. I don't really trust, but I am a system because I'm a healthcare provider. Someone's telling me there's that documentary on yesterday, and the lady said that she was pregnant and they were trying to starve her, and she asked her husband to go get a Starbucks, and he said, do you want a Starbucks or do you want dinner? So she skipped the Starbucks, and she went and collapsed and went to the emergency room, and then they said she was self-inflicted harm to her body and that she got put in a mental hospital and locked in there. And her husband's like, you deserve to be in there and that you're disobedient. And the church said that you're disobedient. And then she went and found a counselor who was a Christian but not from the cult, who was on antidepressants. She's like, this medicine's going to help you. And then she's like telling her husband, come get me. This doctor's cleared me to leave. And I'm going to take this meds. And he said, oh, promise you don't ever let me see it because the church isn't going to prove that you're on this med. Because she had clinical depression, which is a chemical imbalance. But she listened to her leaders. The leaders would help certain people with lawyers and medical professionals and to help bail people out of jail and stuff. But when they starved her and she was pregnant and she was extremely low calorie and these people were anorexic looking, they just all shunned her and gave her husband bad advice. So people want to look at leadership in their society and they're seeing people dress nice and talking about Jesus and having clean cars and suburban houses and good jobs. And you're in a multi-million-dollar complex with a pastor that lives in a multi-million-dollar separate complex. And you see, there's nothing wrong. We're loving, we're giving. We're shouting praises to the Lord. But there's this brainwash that we all get. Even if we're around people we don't like, they're racist or they cuss too much or they make fun of other people and call them dirty names. We'll say, I don't like going to work unless there's people. We start to act like those people that we don't like. And we don't recognize it because we think we're self-righteous. We think we're holier than thou. We see a problem in you, and you don't see it in yourself. And a lot of times when someone sees a problem in someone else, they have that same problem, if not worse. Or the person that they're pointing the finger at doesn't even have the problem. They're projecting. My kids would say that I was a slob. My kids went to camp. My house stayed clean for the whole freaking week. Did the laundry, put the laundry away, put my clothes away. If I had shoes and socks, lined them up at the door, did my dishes every night. Clean out the fridge, had some time with all these meltdowns. Stairs were clean. The living room was clean. The couch stayed clean. If I brought out my school papers and my books and stuff, I'm done with it, put it on the shelf, put it back in the book bag. And these people, my kids blame me for being a slob. When they came home, the house got sloppy and it stayed sloppy. And then I get nervous and I overeat and I overpurchase stuff and I become a hoarder and I collect free stuff and save old newspapers and magazines, and I get rid of stuff slowly, but I have to catch up with the past. I amp it up. You can clean out today's dishes, but if you have last week's dishes, it's going to take you all day. So I kind of wish I could stay home from work. Peace, guys. I'll pray that my package comes soon. Bye.